Hi, and welcome back to another video. Today I will be releasing my official Senate election prediction map of 2024. It will be the only time I will be doing this, as this channel kind of, started late in the game. This channel has only been around for a month, and we're going to see where it goes. But because I started so late, there's only going to be one of these maps. However, when the midterms come around, which is going to be a while, there will be a lot of these maps, and hopefully the channel gets to improve by that time. We'll see where we at. But anyways, this is going to be my official map prediction. Yeah, where I think the map will look like on November 5th, 2024. I will only be doing one of these, and I will be showing kind of what I did last time with my prediction on the presidential race with Harris and Trump. Uh, you know, just showing up polls, some past election data, stuff like that. So let's get into it. So we know that there are House races that will be going solid, safe blue and solid, safe red. So I'm just going to fill those in. So the ones the Democrats will definitely be winning is California. Adam Schiff will definitely win in that race. He's running for Senate. Washington, definitely. Oh, I accidentally moved the map. Let's see what else here. So let's do some Republicans. Wyoming, Utah, North Dakota, and then Nebraska. I don't think Nebraska, the special election for Nebraska, is going to be solid because there's not even a Democrat running there. You have this independent running there, and that, or no, I think it's a libertarian. I think it's a libertarian, either independent or libertarian. I think it's a libertarian, and that libertarian candidate has led in the polls in this race, so I don't think this is a solid Republican race. Anyways, but uh, they'll easily win Missouri, Tennessee, Mississippi, uh, Indiana, and yes, they will flip West Virginia easily. Now, right now, West Virginia is held by Senator Joe Manchin, who has said he's not running for re-election, and so the Republicans have been leading by a big margin in West Virginia. Trump will win it easily, and I think this will be the first flip of the night in the Senate for West Virginia, and I think it will go solid for the Republicans. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. And yeah, I just think it's going to be a solid flip, be first flip of the night, and we'll see what else. And let's see, there will also be Hawaii, solid blue, and I think that's it. So I think that's it. Oh wait, we gotta get Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut. No, not New Jersey. Or uh, Maryland, Maryland. So okay, so now we get into the really interesting stuff. Let's see, some races that I think would probably be a little oh, I almost forgot New York against Gillibrand. She'll easily win re-election. Anyway, so now we get down to the races that are really going to be interesting here, and what I have here, I believe, are some of these. I have some Senate polls. So I have 38, as you can see, and then you could on Real Clear Politics. I also have them here. Uh, or Ohio, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. All the interesting ones. All the interesting ones that we want to pay attention to. And now, right now, let's see for Real Clear Politics. I want to see Real Clear Politics. The battle for the Senate. They have Democrats winning 44 seats, and they have Republicans winning 51, and they have 5 toss-ups. Look at that. So, they have Tim Kaine winning Pennsylvania, uh, Minnesota, California, Arizona, Nevada, Texas. But the toss-ups are Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada. Now, Ohio has a Democrat senator, which I'm definitely going to get into later. Pennsylvania actually doesn't seem so close as to the last Senate race 2 years ago between John Fetterman and Mehmet Oz. Now we have Senator Bob Casey against Dave McCormick. That race really doesn't look close, even though the polls are saying that. But I really don't think it's going to be close. I think Bob Casey is going to win by 6 points. Uh, anyways, getting back into the prediction. Like I said about Nebraska, I think Nebraska's going to be a little competitive. It's not going to be solid, but it's going to be a little competitive. Let's see. Some other ones are definitely going to be Florida. I don't think Florida's going to be safe for Rick Scott, but you know, it's going to be a little competitive. Same with Virginia. Tim Kaine will easily win re-election, but it's not going to be a solid win. Same with New Jersey. and I think Maryland too. Both of those races. Now, some may disagree with me and say, it's a solid win. It's gonna be a solid win, but um, we're just gonna have to see. We're just gonna have to see. So yeah. So and as you can see, that's what it has on this map. That's what it has on this map. These are safe. Like I said, West Virginia will be the first flip. Uh, so we're gonna see how that turns out on election night. It's gonna be very interesting. Oh my goodness, I forgot about this one. So sorry. But anyways, now we're getting into the competitive races. So I do believe Bob Casey will also win re-election, as I said, but it's going to be around Tim Kaine's margins, and definitely probably Rick Scott margins too. So yeah, same with Minnesota, and I think Arizona too. Nah, actually no, not Arizona, not Arizona, but Arizona is definitely going to go to the Democrats. New Mexico is going to be around those margins. So now we get into the interesting ones. So now we get into. I think Arizona is going to be more competitive than, let's say, Virginia or Pennsylvania or New Jersey or Maryland. But Arizona is definitely going to go to the Democrats. Kari Lake has not been a good candidate. And yeah, I think, Democrats are going to deliver for Arizona. Our voters are going to deliver Arizona for the Democrats and secure that win. Let's see what else. And now we get down to Texas. Texas, you've heard me say it a million times. I do believe that Ted Cruz will be winning re-election, but it's going to be super close. Oh, it's going to be super close. So I have Donald Trump winning Texas by not much of a far, or not that close. But I do think that Donald Trump is going to perform better in Texas than Ted Cruz will, because Ted Cruz is a much more controversial politician in Texas. Most Texans usually love Donald Trump, but they probably don't have the same feeling when it comes to Ted Cruz, especially with the ads Democrats are running, and Colin Elrod seems like a very strong candidate. However, I do believe Ted Cruz will win re-election, and I think it will be 3 points, maybe more, but I think it's 3 points. There's always the possibility Ted Cruz will lose, but it's a low possibility. It's a low possibility. And now we get into one of the last ones. I think Democrats will have some squeakers here. I think Nevada's going to be. Actually, I don't think Nevada's going to be a squeaker this year. It was a squeaker 2 years ago. But I think the squeakers for the Democrats are definitely going to be Wisconsin and Ohio. Michigan is going to be won by Slotkin, but it won't be a squeaker. I think she'll win by maybe 3 to 4 or maybe 5 points, like Fetterman did. But she's been a very good candidate. She performed very well in the debate, and I think Slotkin is going to win. I don't really think Rogers had anything good going for him in the debate. He didn't really perform that well, especially on the topic of abortion. And yeah, so that leads us with one more seat. One more Senate seat. And I do believe, so when you look at Montana, Montana's either going to go one way. Either Jon Tester will win re-election by 1 to 3 points, probably a point because of how close this race is, or his opponent will win by 1 to 3 points or 1 point because of how close this race is. So it's going to go either way for one of them. And I do believe Jon Tester will lose re-election by a very close margin. If he doesn't, if he wins re-election by a close margin, it'll also be by a close margin. That could be the possibility. But I just can't see it happening. And I do believe Republicans will take control of the Senate. And this is where my prediction lies. I do believe that Jon Tester will lose re-election. I believe Sherrod Brown will win re-election. And I believe Ted Cruz will win re-election. Now, if you're the Democrats and you're looking at this map, you're going to say to yourself, okay, if we only put our money in Montana, Ohio, only one of these are going to flip. Only one of these, because if you look at the polls, look at that. So, where is it? Texas, R plus 3, right? You have Pennsylvania doing well, Michigan doing well, Ohio doing well. But when we really get into Montana, which is all the way at the bottom, here, Montana, when we get into Montana, you can see the polls recently, have not been well to Tester at all. Look at that. He's losing to his opponent by wide margins. Now, I don't really think that, of course, this is a Republican sponsored poll, but okay, so I think a poll like this is kind of accurate. I think that Tester could lose by 1 point. So yeah, I do think that's accurate, and I do believe Real Clear Politics is probably showing the same thing here. Let's see. Yeah, they are. Look at that. They have Jon Tester. Oh my goodness. So their average is Tester losing by 7 points, which I believe is inaccurate and definitely an overperformance. And I think they're underestimating Tester a little bit, but I still don't think Tester will win. So yeah, look at that. I don't really think that's accurate. I don't really think that's realistic either. I really can't see Tester losing by like 7 points or 8 points. The max I can see him losing by are 5 points, and that's it. The lowest, probably a point or less, and I really do think that's how much he'd lose by, 1 to 3 points. Same if Tester would win re-election, but I don't think he's winning re-election. So you see these polls, you see how it's in a bad move for Jon Tester. So the Democrats are saying, okay, if Jon Tester is screwed, where else can we go? And if you go back to the Senate map, hold on, you see Nebraska, R +1, Ohio, Senate, Democrat +2, so good for the Democrats. Wisconsin, Democrat +3, Pennsylvania, Democrat +4, Michigan, Democrat +4, Texas, Republican +3. So, look at this, Ted Cruz's lead, and I know I said it was rising, but look at that. Last time we talked about it, Ted Cruz was ahead by almost 4 points. His lead has now shrunk. His lead is now shrunk. His polling numbers really aren't going anywhere, and Colin Elrod is continuing to climb in these polls. Now, Ted Cruz, like I said before, he's been up in like almost every poll. There was one poll that had Colin ahead, but in like all these polls, Ted Cruz has been leading. As you know, Ted Cruz is expected to win, but there's a possibility with polls these close that Ted Cruz or that Colin Elrod could pull off an upset. And if that were to happen, let's say it did, right? It did. Look at that. That's a tied Senate, and all Democrats would need to do if Ted Cruz were to lose re-election was to win the presidency. Kamala Harris, is able to tie break that, and Democrats are controlling the Senate, and Republicans once again lose the chance to retake the Senate. However, I do believe that is an unrealistic scenario. I do not think Ted Cruz is going to lose re-election. He'll probably win it by 3 points. Or win it by 3 points. He'll win it by 3 points, and I believe Republicans will retake control of the Senate. They haven't controlled it since 2020. They lost that in the 2021 runoff elections in Georgia, and Joe Biden was elected president. So Democrats have had control of the Senate for almost 4 years now. And I do believe that Republicans are about to take it back. But, I could always be wrong. Democrats, maybe they do pull this upset in Texas. I don't think they will. Maybe Montana will reelect Jon Tester as their senator. I don't think they will, but we'll see. Maybe the polls are wrong. Maybe they really are overperforming the Republicans, which I think they are, but I don't really have that hope for Jon Tester in Montana. And, I could be wrong about all this. I could be very wrong. And we're going to see on Election Day. And, we'll see on Election Day. So, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing and following me on Twitter @VoteBreakdown. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.